of Parliament for St. John Rossay, Social Development Minister, Minister Dorothy Shepherd, Mary Sonia Taylor, Executive Director of the Coverdale Centre for Women, Inc. Also with us is Jerry Lowe, Councillor Jerry Lowe, Mayor Donna Reardon, also Councillor John McKenzie and Deputy Mayor, Minister Gary Crosman, as well as David Hickey. We are here today to talk about investments made in building a new transition house for women. Transition houses, like the one being built, play a key role in providing women any extra support they may need as they re-enter the housing market. I now invite MP Long to speak on this very special announcement.
Good morning. Another beautiful morning, excuse me, our beautiful riding of St. John Rossay. I certainly want to start by acknowledging that we are on the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoqey alongside of their neighbors, the Pescataway and the Mi'kmaq. And it's great to be here. Every time I get to be in the riding and do an announcement of this magnitude, it's a very wonderful day for St. John Rossay. I certainly want to acknowledge, I'm here with Minister Arlene Dunn, Minister Dorothy Shepherd, and really the star of the show here today is Mary Sonia with Coverdale. I'll say a few words about Mary after, but I get emotional even thinking about her passion and the work she does for this community. My colleague, the Honourable Ahmed Hussein, the Minister of Housing and Diversity and Inclusion, couldn't join us today, but he sends his best for this most important event. All of us here today share the goal of ensuring that everyone in our region has a safe and affordable place to call home. And as we set the stage for an inclusive recovery, housing is more important than ever. We certainly recognize the challenges that we face in this community with respect to housing, apartments, affordable housing. It's an emergency. We have to do more as governments, provincially and federally and municipality. I'm thrilled that Minister Shepherd has the portfolio, and I'm thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to work with her to really make a difference in this community. So today, I am pleased to announce a joint investment of nearly $3.6 million to support the construction of the Coverdale Centre for Women. I just heard the third floor was put on. I was like, was it secured well? And there's other supports too. So that would include almost $1.4 million of federal funding to our government's Rapid Housing Initiative. When completed, this new building will include 12 new transitional housing units for women and their children who are experiencing homelessness. Thank you. Peer mentoring will also be available on site, and the project will provide wraparound supports that will help the residents build the life they deserve. These new housing units will be an important part of our community, and I'm pleased to say that federal funding for this project came from the National Housing Strategy, a 10-year plan backed by more than $72 billion in investments that are strengthening the middle class, fueling our economy, and giving more Canadians a place to call home. We know Canadians are working hard to overcome the impacts of the pandemic, and our government is here to give them the support they need to meet the challenges head on. Before I hand it over, I want to thank everyone again for their advocacy and work when it comes to building housing in this community. And I would like to offer my best wishes to the future residents. And in closing again, these things take time, announcements take time, and funding through whether it's provincial or federal government, sometimes there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of red tape and a lot of turns and twists that people like Mary Sonia and her group at Coverdale have to go through. But I just want to thank again Mary, Jamie, and everybody at Outflow too. But today it's Mary's Day, it's Coverdale's Day. The work you do in the community is thankless at times. I know it's frustrating, and I know how much you care about this community. I see it every day, and every time I talk to you, your passion comes through in spades. So, you know, from my government to you, from me personally to you, Mary, I just thank you so much for your leadership and what you do. And this is a great, great news story. Do we have a lot more work to do? Yes. Do we need to respond to the housing emergency in this community more than we have? Yes. Can we do more? Yes. And we will do more. So again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. This is a day of celebration, and it's a wonderful day for our community and for Coverdale. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Long, for those very inspiring words. I will now invite Minister Shepherd to the podium to speak. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm so very much pleased to be here today to celebrate more investments being made in support for women and girls. Bonjour tout le monde. You know, the provincial government is pleased to contribute close to $2.3 million in this very important project for women who are experiencing homelessness. The Department of Social Development is contributing $480,000 plus 12 rent supplements for a 20-year investment equaling about $1.4 million. The Regional Development Corporation, I know Minister Crosman is here this morning, is contributing $400,000 through the Community Development Fund. I want to congratulate Coverdale Centre for Women, Inc. And you know, I've known about Coverdale and Mary and other organizations here in the Waterloo Village for so long, since 2007, 2008, when I was working on the Homelessness Steering Committee. I know their dedication, and I know that this has been a long time goal for them. And so I want to congratulate Mary. I want to congratulate Coverdale Centre for Women on the construction of this new building, which will include 4 accessible units and a courtyard with a communal outdoor living space for gardening opportunities. Coverdale Centre for Women has a long history of supporting New Brunswick women. In fact, Coverdale Centre for Women has been serving and providing services to vulnerable women and children in the community for more than 45 years. They've been here. I'm so pleased to know even more support will be available for women and girls who are experiencing homelessness in the St. John area. With the construction of Rose House, Coverdale will be able to continue to support women experiencing homelessness for many years to come. Nonprofit organizations like Coverdale are important partners in our collective effort to provide more housing and support for New Brunswickers experiencing homelessness. We've worked with a number of partners on developing wraparound supports and housing subsidies that can provide individuals with permanent housing options. By doing so, we've been able to find housing for dozens of individuals who had previously been homeless. This, of course, does not mean that we are stopping our supports for shelters. And as I've said, they are an integral part of helping people transition into more permanent housing. Thanks to the multiple efforts over the years, we've been able to help over 800 at-risk New Brunswickers experiencing homelessness find affordable housing and stable housing. To help with this, we're also making more investments in the affordable housing development. I'm pleased to say that we've already exceeded the objective we were targeting under the Canada-New Brunswick bilateral agreement. This initiative was supposed to see the addition of 151 new affordable units since 2019. Instead, we have expanded by 172 new affordable units. And just to echo what MP Wayne Long has said, we know that there is more that's needed, and we know there's more to be done. It doesn't stop here, and it doesn't stop there. We're going to partner with as many private developers and nonprofits as we can to try to close this housing gap that's so desperately needed. It is our objective to create 370 new affordable units within the next 3 years. These affordable housing units include rent supplements, so tenants would only be paying 30% of their gross income for the rent, as the province is taking care of the rest. And we will continue to work with private and nonprofit landlords to develop more affordable housing options for New Brunswickers in need. This is probably, between health and housing, our two biggest areas of focus right now in our province. It's much needed. We need people like Coverdale and other nonprofits to be ready to come to us with their proposals so that we can see what we can do to help. I am so excited for Coverdale to see them reach this milestone today. Congratulations to Mary and all of her team. This is very needed. It's timely, and I'm so proud of their work. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Minister Shepherd. I now invite Mary Sonia Taylor, Executive Director for Coverdale Centre for Women, Inc. She's going to provide some more information with respect to the transition house and what's going on regarding construction and the future opportunities. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming. This day has been a long day coming. Coverdale has had, don't lose my speech. Coverdale Centre for Women has had the privilege to secure the funding to address housing needs for the most vulnerable women through our local governments, through community partners, and through everyone who has supported us for the many years we've been working on this project. We appreciate and thank all who have supported our journey for this project. At times it was ups and downs, as we have discovered, with different funding costs that were rising. We secured a fabulous company, Iron Maple, as our general contractors. And we had so many people step up when we needed the most. The hurdles we faced just reminded us of all the challenges our women face every day with being homeless, and how difficult it is not having a safe place to call your own. Our mission and mandate is always to provide dignity and respect to all we serve. This project has been a passion, as we have said, for many years, to find more women not meeting the criteria for current housing market. So we took it upon ourselves to develop a unit, 12 units, that we thought was manageable for some of the most difficult women who have been stuck in our shelter for a number of years, for all different reasons. We've had, unfortunately, COVID has escalated some of the concerns that we're facing with current housing programs, with rentals increasing and vacancy rates very low. So this trend started pre-COVID, but has just continued to increase over the past couple of years. So these units, as said, I don't want to repeat what's already been said, but they all have rent subs. So every woman who will be living in one, it's a turnkey unit, so all their needs will be met independently. As soon as they move in, they can start fresh with a brand new place to call their own, which a lot of the women who will be on the list, the by names list, this may be their first unit. So we're going to provide the services that meet their individual needs, some more, some less. We are, as said before, peer mentoring is going to be a very important part. Our plans for next year with the outside garden, for the green spaces, is also an important factor in order to make sure that this unit is going to be as welcoming and as supportive for the women that we will be serving there. Our hope is that this building, of course, is just going to be a start to more housing projects in our community that meets all the different needs of all the diverse populations that we serve. It's fabulous. It's been hard to contain. It's been exhausting at times, but the reward is this beautiful home with 4 accessible units, which is another really important factor that we're finding more and more elderly women not having a safe place to go. I could say lots more, but I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank the community. I want to thank John Campbell for his initial involvement in the project, for the name Rose House came about from our women and from John, Graham Savage, my project manager, who's been on board since day one, and of course, all the funding partners that we secured in order to make this a reality today.
Thank you very much, Mary. So we're going to actually open the podium now to questions, and right afterwards we're going to have a photo op.